Hey, welcome to my private training. I am so glad you're here. You signed up for this likely because you're not happy with what you're getting. You want something different. You want to change. You're ready to lose the weight for good this time, and nothing is seeming to work. And I get it. I was right where you were or where you are 6 years ago, and I needed a change, and I had to make a change for myself and for my family. And so I'm so glad you're here. We're going to spend the next few minutes kind of talking about what I did specifically, what I coach my clients to do, and how it can work for you as well. Now, this isn't for you if you're here and you're thinking she's going to give me specific macros and tell me exactly what to eat. I'm not doing that today. Now, do I give specific macros and do I help with meal guides? Absolutely, I do. That's part of my one-on-one coaching, and you definitely have an opportunity to talk to me more about that. I also offer some group coaching where I work closely with you on your macros, but today is not that day. We're not going to talk about your macros because macros are a piece of the puzzle, but they're not where we start. This is also not for you if you aren't planning on changing one single thing that you do. Because if you're not planning on changing one single thing that you do, you're going to waste your 15 minutes here. Because what you've been doing is not getting you where you want to be. And so I don't want you here for 15 minutes and be like, well, I'm not planning on doing any of that. Baby, don't waste your time. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you signed up, but I think you'll be real disappointed. So not for here if you're looking for macros today, not for here if you're looking for getting a bunch of information but not changing your ways. We can still be buddies. This is just probably not for you. Okay, so let's start with a question today, and I want you to answer it yourself. Write it down where you're taking your notes. I want you to be honest with yourself. How many times have you told yourself, I'll just start over Monday? Maybe Monday has become your favorite day of the week because every Monday feels like a new chance to finally get it right. If you're anything like I was or am, because we're all really the same, Monday comes, you meal prep all day Sunday, y'all. Get home from church, meal prep all day Sunday. Okay? You drink your water, you hit your workout. Tuesday's pretty good too. Wednesday, things go a little crazy, kind of off the rails, and maybe things aren't perfect on Wednesday. And then Thursday, your kids need something. And then Friday, you end up eating out because you're busy. And then Saturday, you miss your workout, and by Sunday, you feel guilty. And then Monday, it starts all over again. And it's the cycle of perpetuity. It goes on. It's infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear says. But I got really good news for you. You see, you're not lazy. You're not lacking discipline. You're simply relying on the wrong thing. You see, we've been told for years and years that once you get motivated, you'll get started. But waiting on that motivation is keeping you stuck, sweet friend. The exact blueprint I teach my coaching clients to finally become the women who follow through is what I'm about to show you. And it changed my life. And it will change yours. Not just with weight loss, but with other stuff too. So this isn't something I learned from a textbook. I've got all the certifications behind my name, right? I'm not just a faster way coach. I'm not just a registered nurse. I have certifications in surgery and specializations. I'm not just a nutrition coach. I have certifications as a personal trainer and a certification as a nutrition coach, and I have all the other hormone and all that certifications. I've got all the initials behind my name, right? 25 plus years as a nurse, watching women wear themselves out trying to lose 5 pounds. I am a full-time working mother of 3. I coach a competitive softball team. I run this coaching business, and several years ago, I was knocked down when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and I became that woman with the autoimmune disorder. I remember feeling exhausted all the time, how inflamed I was, how moody I was. I didn't want anything to do with my husband, and I prayed he didn't want anything to do with me. I didn't want to see anybody's face when I got off work. I was so tired. I spent hundreds of dollars on cookbooks that promised me if I would follow this regimen, I would feel better. I spent $800 a month on supplements from my healthcare provider who told me that all I had to do was detox my body and I would feel better. And I tried, y'all. I took supplements around the clock. I studied and downloaded every free PDF I could get my hands on. I paid for webinars and seminars, and I paid for supplements, and I tried really weird stuff, and none of it worked. The problem wasn't that I didn't have enough information. The problem was I kept waiting to be motivated before I could act. And everything changed when I stopped chasing motivation and I started building the boring, the consistency. So let's talk about motivation and why is it keeping you stuck? You see, we've been sold a lie. We've been taught motivation comes first, then action, then results. But that's not how your brain actually works. You see, action creates motivation. There's not the other way around. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up motivated to brush your teeth. No, you just do it. Why? Because it's part of who you are. That's identity. Confidence works the same exact way. It doesn't come after you lose 20 pounds. It comes after keeping hundreds of tiny promises to yourself. You see, women all make a big mistake when it comes to losing weight and building consistency. They think that consistency means you never mess up. It doesn't. Consistency means that you never stay down. Here's what I see all the time with women. One missed workout, whole week's ruined. One cookie becomes, I'll start Monday. One vacation becomes, y'all, I can't start this new lifestyle program. I'm going on a vacation for 4 days in July. I'm going to have to start in September. What? This is not a nutrition problem. It's an identity problem. So what do we do instead? This is the framework that changed everything for me that I created when I had an illness earlier this year and it knocked me down. All of the nutrition training and the fitness training that I had to dig from because I literally was in the bed. I had an episode of a pretty significant esophagitis where I could not swallow water for weeks. And it was bad. And I ended up in the hospital. I had to have a procedure and it took a toll on me. And I had to make a comeback because my body is not going to stay down. I refuse. I have spent the last 5 years building strength and lean muscle, and I absolutely refuse to give it up to an illness that had come to get me. So I call it the comeback code, and I'm going to share it with you today. Because life will knock you down. It will knock you off track. Your success is not determined by whether or not that happens because it's going to happen. Your success is determined by how quickly you come back. Your first step is a rebuild. Not a punish, not a restrict, not a make up for yesterday. What's my next healthy decision? Protein, water, workout. Make one choice and do it now. My next best decision was I've got to find soup that I can swallow that meets my macros. And so that's what I did. I found soup with carbs and fats in it. And then I drank protein shakes because I needed my macros. The only thing I could get down were protein shakes and soup. So that's what I did. Then we're going to refocus. We're going to stop asking, why did I mess up? And we're going to start asking, who am I on the other side of this? You are becoming the woman who follows through one decision at a time. And then you're going to recommit. Finally, every comeback decision is a vote for your future self. You don't need a perfect week. You need one more opportunity to practice becoming the woman you want to be, and that's right now. That's where the name comes from, the Do It Anyway blueprint. Because there are going to be mornings where you don't want to work out and you do it anyway. There will be days when you don't want to meal prep and you do it anyway. There'll be days when life gets busy and you do it anyway. Not because you feel like it, because you've already decided who you are becoming. Every healthy choice becomes another promise kept. And every promise kept builds your confidence. I developed the Do It Anyway tracker that my clients use. They send it to me every week, and it tells me what choices they made that day. And I evaluate it and I send it back to them because we're not just tracking habits, we are collecting evidence that they are actually becoming the woman who follows through. So if you've been waiting for motivation, friends, I hope I gave you permission today to stop waiting. Because motivation comes and goes. I like to say it waxes and it wanes. But identity lasts forever. The goal isn't to become a motivated woman. The goal is to become the woman who knows exactly what to do when life gets hard. And that's what we do inside Love Your Body Coaching. Yes, I will help you with your macros every single day. Yes, I will remind you every morning via a text message or a voicemail, hey, get up and do your workout. Yes, I'll help you lose weight. I just got a text yesterday from a dear friend that's lost 65 pounds in the year we've been together. 65 pounds. I'm help her lose weight. But more importantly, what she learned is that she can stop starting over. I'll teach you how to rebuild, how to refocus, how to recommit to yourself again and again until simply healthy choices are who you are. If you're ready for that kind of transformation, I'd love to coach you. I have options. I want you to click the link below and let's talk about how we can build your comeback together. You see, you're no longer the woman who's waiting on motivation. When you work with me, you're the woman who takes action, and that action builds confidence, and you become the woman who keeps her word to herself and finally loses the weight for good. I cannot wait to chat with you about how this could be the very thing that changes it for you for good. Have a great day.